Hello, this is Dimitri with Ukidz LLC, UGears.us. Today we're going to be assembling AT-ST Walker. This is the final assembly for the first 6 models that were released for the Star Wars. We've done so far X-Wing Fighter, TIE Fighter, Millennium Falcon, R2-D2, and Anakin's Pod Racer. So this is the final guy. Let's see what it has to offer us. I don't think this one has any electrical components, but let's check it out. I know it is a spring-loaded mechanism. What we have here, we got 5 boards, 5.5 boards. We have instructions, and we got one little baggie with additional parts that we need. Let's see, we got the spring, we have the sandpaper pins, quite a few of them, and a wax stick. All right. As always, we're not throwing anything out because in case something gets stuck in a bag or on the board, or we forget the part, so it's always a good idea to keep all the way until the end of the assembly. And I think we are ready to start and see what the instructions hold for us. I'm a little bit tight on space here. Got my TIE Fighter and the X-Wing taking a little bit of a space, but anyway, let's see. The first, as always, let's go with the instructions. Be careful pushing the parts out. Use the wax to wax it a little bit when you have a little bit trouble of inserting it. Do not light the wax on fire. It's not a candle. Well, I mean, it is a candle, but not recommended to light it up. Not suitable for the kids under 3. And some sharp parts in here. I don't remember seeing that warning, but page 3, we got some symbols that we're gonna see in the instructions. We got exclamation mark, which means that you need to pay close attention to what you're doing, just to make sure that you connect the parts correctly. Sandpaper means that you need to sand the parts. This is a wax, picture of a wax with a gear and a toothpick that you need to wax the part. The little fan with the arrows, meaning that the parts need to move freely or around the axis or whatever, whichever the components are. Little gears with arrows, meaning that the mechanism needs to be fully functioning before you continue the assembly. This symbol means snap the parts together, and the other one, do not snap the parts together just yet. When you see a little green plus sign next to the part, that means there is a spare part somewhere on the boards. So if you accidentally break it, look for that part on the boards before contacting us for the spares, contacting us or the manufacturer. And then on the right hand side, there is a helping tool, which got a little bit of extra pieces. So it's not just a simple piece, one piece as we had before. That's going to be on board number 2. In the bottom right, we got H3, we got H2, all of them are on the bottom right. We got H4, take all of these out. We got H1s, so you can use the helping tool to push these guys out, work it in, or work it out. And now just need a little bit of assembly. So the one with the cutout is going to go on the top, the one without the cutout is going to go on the bottom. We can do H1s first into H4 or H3, I guess. Yeah, into H3, then push the H2 over, and then lock with the H4 on the top. That's our helping tool. Put it aside to continue the assembly. And actually, all right, we're on page number 4. I'm just trying to see what we're looking at here. I just did the first step for us, so that's a helping tool H. And the last 2 pictures, it looks like it's showing how to use it. So there is a, when we use the pins or we put our parts on the pin, we can use this helping tool to help us with the adjustment and make sure the proper position of the part on the pin. Also, this part we're going to be using looks like to push the spring in, and then obviously this little sharper point is to push the parts out. Once again, I always use the tool, or a lot of times I use the tool if the parts are small, to snap them together, which helps a lot. All right, let's start with our assembly. We're on page number 4. Top of the page on the right hand side, step number 1, we need parts number 1, 2 of each, and they're all on board number 1. And parts number 1's going to be 2s are at the center here at the top, so we need 2 of those, and we need 2 part number 1's. Those are at the top right corner. Key looking things, 2 of those also. Now we need to wax the outside of part number 2. All around. And then part number 1, put them together, and those get inserted into part number 2. From the side where the airs look and point into the clockwise direction. So let's do the first one all the way in, all the way up to that step. Use the desk as the leverage, and then we put another one over the top, and also all the way in. So the arrows are pointing in clockwise direction as you look at it, and the parts number 1 stick out towards you. All right, so the step number 2, we need part number 3, which is also in the top right corner here with the little tabs. Carefully remove it, and then we need to put wax on these little tabs. I would run all around just to be on the safe side. And similar with the arrows pointing in the clockwise direction, we insert it from the front all the way down flat towards the next part. Step number 3, on the bottom left of the page, we need part number 4, which is going to be on the bottom right. And careful, within that part, there is also a part number 6, looks like it. Carefully remove it, we'll be using it shortly. Here we need wax. It says sand and wax the inside, but let's see if we can get the sandpaper in there and easily sand, not easily, but a little bit of a sanding, and then apply a wax on these little gears on inside. Gear teeth, and then obviously any gear tooth that you see, any gears, we need to make sure that every single tooth is waxed in order to prevent or reduce the friction as much as we can. Technically, the recommendation would be to sand and wax every single tooth, but if you want to watch me do that for 10 hours, well, I don't want you to sit and watch there for 10 hours. That's why I'm gonna skip that sanding part. If you really, as I said, really want the assembly and the product to work nice and smooth. Sanding is recommended, but not required. All right, let me double check, make sure we're still on record. And this part's gonna go over part number 3 with teeth, internal teeth, facing in clockwise direction. And so when you turn it around and you follow the arrows moving in counterclockwise direction, you'll hear a little bit of a clicking sound. And you'll be able to rotate the part in that direction. All right, step number 1, in the middle of bottom of page number 4, need parts number 5, 2, 6, and part number 7. We're still on board number 1. Let's see, 5 is going to be a little bit above the middle on the right hand side. And since I broke that whole section out, need to make sure we don't lose it and put it on the side. Part number 6, we just pulled one out earlier from within the part number 4. And then the second one's going to be another part number 4 right at the center here. So we can pull that out too. So we got 5, 2, 6, and then part number 7. Part number 7 is going to be right next to the part number 5 that we just pulled out. And let's see what needs to be waxed. Obviously the gears, little fan-looking things. Every single tooth needs to be waxed up. On the one and the second one. All around. Part number 5, let's see, there's a little cutouts, so those cutouts going to be towards you, and we insert it away from you. Into part number 6, the flat portion should face the clockwise direction. So that's the way it goes all the way to the step. And same thing on the other one, make sure they match. All the teeth are matching both gears. Snap them together and then lock it up with part number 7 with the painted surface towards the outside. And that's the way it looks on A2. All right, let's move on to step number 1 on the right hand side. On the bottom of the page, we need parts number 8 and 2/9. So part number 8 is the top right corner on board number 1, and 2/9 are right below it. And let's see, we don't need to wax anything. We just need to make sure that part number 9 is the larger tooth is on the left hand side facing downward, and then on part number 8, the shorter tab is towards you. So that's how it needs to be inserted, and it needs to be flush with 2 teeth at the top based on a picture. Once again, used the table as the leverage, and then if you look on the side, this is flush, and from this side it should be flush. So if you insert it correctly, that's the way it's supposed to look. And that's going to be our A3, which we need to sand a little bit and wax these little teeth. All right, and put a little bit of wax on them. And that's our A3. Moving on to the page number 5, step number 1 at the top left corner, need part number 10. That's going to be at the top left of board number 1. And we need 4 parts number 11. Those are in the middle on the left hand side here. All right, so with the L facing, as you look at the part, it looks like a L. The hole is on the bottom left. We need to wax inside a little hole, and then we insert 4 parts number 11 around the circle at the top. That's where the spring's going to go. Next step, number 2, we need part number 13 and 12. Part number 13 is going to be on board number 1, a little below the middle on the left hand side. And part number 12 is on board number 2, middle on the right hand side. So part number 12 is going to go in these 2 top holes on the L, bottom portion of the L, with the painted surface towards the top. And then part number 13 is going to go in these vertical 2 holes. There's no painted surface on here, so whichever way it goes in. Step number 3, we do need our spring. And then step to the right of it, it shows how we need to insert it. So that's a step number 3. Let's see, we're going to take our A1. It's going to go through the center of the hole at the top, and we're going to need to insert that flat portion of the spring in between parts number 1. Also, pay attention on how you insert the spring. It shows there's a little drawing in here, there's a drawing here, and pretty much your little lip needs to face clockwise direction. So it wraps around and goes into the clockwise, and that's how it's supposed to be. So the flat portion we insert in between the parts number 1. And let's see, the spring needs to come out in, it's most of it's going to be within the parts number 11 that we just installed, but it needs to come out in between the top right and top left. And so right here, and it just because in my case right now it is coming out on the bottom, so I just need to lift it up a little bit, bring it over, and make sure that it is outside of part. So as you follow, the spring goes around and then comes out in between the top right and top left, right at the top here, and then stays outside until the end of it. Then push it down, make sure the gear is flat to the surface. This sits within the gear as we installed it before, and the spring comes out in between the two top parts with the lip facing clockwise direction. And step number 4 on the bottom, we install A2 right at the second hole from the bottom on the left hand side. Needs to be a little bit of a movement there. I'm gonna put a little bit of a sanding right around that hole. Although it's painted surface, but I wasn't rotating very smooth. Let me see if I missed. I did miss the waxing of the little part. So I'm just going to come back and put a little bit of wax on that part number 7, I think it was. All right, here we go. Now it's much smoother. And then A3 with the longer tooth, it's going to go right into this opening kind of weird shape opening above the spring, and locking in with that gear that we just installed, gears sub-assembly. And step number 6, take from board number 1, bottom left, second part number 10. It's gonna go in and lock in this spring, and we need to make sure that we wax this little component here too on the bottom left. So we're just gonna go over and lock these components. Line up the tabs. Little trick, make sure that we do line them up. You can use the helping tool to help you push them in or out to make sure they line up with the hole, and lock everything inside, all these parts that we just installed. All right, squeeze it, make sure it's nice and tight. Squeeze it only where the tabs are at, otherwise you running a risk like of snapping the part if, like, let's say if you squeeze here. All right, and then let's see, make sure that we have the gears installed. That's all good. And moving on to the page number 6, we need to install step number 7. We need to install part number 14 and 15. And 14 is the top left of board number 1. And 15 is going to be all the way to top right. Wax both on the outside, so little tabs on part number 14. And then part number 15 all around. All right, so this goes over the parts number 1 to lock those in, and then the arrow should point in a clockwise direction as before. And we push it all the way to the surface. And part number 15 to lock it in. Step number 8. We need part number 16 and 17. 16 is going to be top right corner, so is 17. All the way to the top right. Sand, I'm sorry, well, you can sand, but wax the parts. The gear, all the tooth, and I'm just going to do 16 just in case. Might not need it, but it goes over onto this gear sub-assembly. All the way in, and then 17 over the top. That's going to be a little bit step in between part number 16 all the way in, and then 17, there's a slight step. As far as it can go. And then we need part number 7 to lock on here and lock on here. And that's step number 9, and parts number 7 are on board number, looks like board number 2, no, board number 1 still on the bottom. There's 3 of them, so we just need 2 for now. And with the painted surface towards you, it goes on the tab of this part above the gears subassembly and on the gear subassembly. Two of these guys, and then we turn this around. Step number 1 on the bottom, that's our A4. Step number 1 on the bottom on the left hand side. We need parts number 18, 19, 20, and 21. They all should be on board number 1 on the left hand side. So let's see, 18, a little bit below the middle on the left. 19, that was in the part that I removed earlier, is on the right a little bit above the middle if you still have it attached. 18, 19, 20, back on the left hand side below the middle, and 21. All right, so part number 19 goes into 18. It's nice and flat. Part number 20 goes next, all the way, and then lock it up with part number 21, and that's going to be our A5. Put it on the side. Step number 1, second from the left. We need parts number 22, 23, and 24. Looks like those are on board number 2 on the bottom right. So 22, 23, and 24. So 22 is symmetrical, goes through part number 23. Put a little bit of a wax on the 23, just in case. The little dash should face as you're opening the rectangular opening in the y direction. The little dash mark should face about 10, 30, or 11 o'clock or so. So 22 is going to go from the back into 23, and then 24 with this little tab towards the top right. And this is going to be our A6. Step number 1 in the middle here, we need part number 7. That was board number 1. There's a little bit above the bottom of the board number 1 to the right of the center line. There's one more left, I guess, for the further assembly. So this part number 7, we're gonna put our A5 over this tab right here on the bottom right, and it's gonna go all the way to the surface, I think. Right. Almost to the surface. There's a step, but we need to get it installed. There you go. Got it. Feet is there, and then we just need to push it all the way to the step. So it's going to be like dangling a little bit, and then part number 7 locks it in. That's step number 1. Step number 2 to the right of it. We need another part number 23 and 24. They're on the bottom right of board number 2. Once again, I'm going to wax a little bit part number 23, because I'm sure there's going to be some kind of, considering the little dips in there. So this one, that's going to be the bottom right hole. Our sub-assembly is going to go from the front, the A6 sub-assembly, with the tab towards the top right. So it goes through here, gets installed, and then we're going to need part number 23, same thing, with a little dash towards the top left with the opening in Y direction. It's going to go from the back, and we need to install it all the way inside. Part number 10, flush, and then lock it up with part number 24, same thing, the tab facing towards the top right. As you insert it from the back, just like this. And then step number 3, we need part number 25 and 26. They're on board number 2, bottom right, 25 and 26. So with the collar towards the outside, that goes over these 2 tabs of part number 24. Part number 25 with the round off portion towards the top, tabs towards the back. That's going to go over the parts number 24. No, not 24, sorry. There's 2 tabs right above it. So onto part number 10. And then part number 26 will go on with the start stop facing you. So the spring is at the top and you can read the start stop in the right direction, so it's not upside down. That's going to go over onto parts number 24. You should be able to rotate this like towards the bottom. All right, that's step number 3 on page number 6. Moving on to the page number 7, and that's step number 4. We need to make sure that moves up and down, as I just mentioned and showed you. So that's part number 1 and number 2. Step number 5, we're gonna need to wind up the spring, rotate it from the back where the keys rotated counterclockwise direction until the spring feeds itself in between parts number 11. And then once it does, we're going to need to push it in, and there is a part number 11 at the bottom left. That's where the lip needs to go onto. That's a step number 2, 3, and no, that is not true. Need to push it through all the way. Where does it lock? At the top, needs to lock at this top one. Okay, so it needs to lock on the top left. Not sure what all these little steps are. It needs to lock right here, so I'm not sure why all these pushing through. I guess sometimes it gets stuck in between parts number 10. So we need to make sure that it locks on that top left portion. Once it gets there, use the helping tool, which doesn't really fit in between part number 10, so I'm not sure how would you push it in with this little piece. I would use my other end to make sure that it sits on part number 11 here at the top left, as you're looking at the sub-assembly from the back, I guess, where the key is at. So, and then you can let go of the mechanism a little bit and the spring's gonna stay inside. So you need to make sure that the spring is within confinements of part number 11, inside that little circle there. All right, and then step number 6, we need parts number 28 and 27. They're on board number 2. 28 is at the top right. We're gonna need 2 of them. Actually in the middle right, on the right hand side. And then part number 27 was going to be bottom left. All right, so the 27 is gonna go on the bottom. That's step number 6, right here where that opening is at. It's symmetrical, so it doesn't matter which way it goes, but you need to push it all the way in into this slot, so it's nice and flush on the bottom. And then 28 is gonna go on the bottom right around the circle, and then the little slot openings at the top right above the 27. So match that's gonna hold, and then once again needs to be flush. flush. That one's not going to be. There's going to be a step because it's going to hit the part right here in the middle. And then the 127 and that's tabs on the bottom right of that circle. Let's see, that will be flush, and that's our A7 mechanism. Moving on to page number 8. Clean up the table here a little bit. And we got step number 1 on the top left of the page number 8, making sure we're recording. Need parts number 29, 30, 31, and 32, all board number 1. Let's see, 30 and 29 right at the center, maybe a little bit to the left, above the middle. Work those out. Part number 31 is going to be below the middle on the right hand side. And part number 32 is going to be a little bit lower to the right. All right, so let's see what we need to do. 30 is going to go into 29. All the way, make sure it's flush on both ends. Let's see, the step, vertical portion. Because we have trying to figure out, so these are two the same, these are slightly, they look the same to me. I'm not trying to figure out what does it mean here. There's one side taller, the other side shorter. So on part number 29, the cutout is not symmetrical, so one side is going to be a little bit taller, the other one's shorter as you look on the side. So the taller part towards the top, that's where the part number 31, as you can see, the opening is a little bit larger, so I need to make sure that we insert it correctly. And then I'm going to put a little bit of a wax on these tabs because that will help me push the part through. I'm going to also clean out the little burrs in between the gear teeth, and I will wax these little parts before I install it. I mean, I guess you could do it after, but I think it's just a little cleaner and easier if you do it prior to installation. And let's see, so taller opening, make sure you insert it correctly, feed it in. There you go. And if it doesn't go in, that means you probably didn't put it in the correct direction. All right, so as you can see, this, I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but this part is a little taller than the bottom portion, so that's how we get it in. And then part number 32 with a collared surface towards the outside. That doesn't matter which way it goes. It's just going to go to the first step. And lock it in. Now, technically need to wax it, but we already waxed it, so we're good to go. Next, step number 1. That's going to be our A8. Step number 1 on page number 8 in the middle of the top of the page. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4. So the second one from the left. You need parts number 33, 34, 35, and 36. All right, 33 on the left and 34 is a little below that. Both of them are above the middle. Part number 35 is going to be top right. There's 2 of them. And then part number 36 is right below it. Wax gear teeth. And wax the part number 36 on the outside. Then 35 goes into 34. And where the shorter steps are, that's where gear 35 goes onto, because there's a long steps and short steps. All the way to the first step. A little further. Let me try to twist it. Looks like there is a little bit of a directionality. Maybe. Yep. All the way in. Make sure it's nice and flush with the step. And then part number 36 with the color towards the outside so you can see it. It's gonna go right over. Locking it in. That's our A9. Step number 1, the third one from the left. For A10, we need part number 37. They are on the left-hand side, right in the middle. Two of them. Part number 35 a little bit above the middle on the right, and then another 36 right above it. Clean out the burrs, edges, wax the parts, the gears, all the teeth. And then part number 36 on the outside. One into another. And now that should be symmetrical, so it doesn't matter which side the gear goes into. And then push it in all the way to the step. Put a little bit of wax if it doesn't go nice and easy. And to the tab. Now nice and clean. All the way. And then part number 36 to lock it up. Once again. I don't think there should be directionality, but feels like there is. Alright, that's our A10. A little smaller. Alright, moving on to step number 1, the fourth one on the top of the page. We need our sub-assembly, and we're going to take our A8, and that's going to go. We're going to turn, so make sure the L is the right way. It's going to go in the hole all the way on the right, all the way through. Step number 2, we're going to take A9, and with the gear towards you, it's going to go into the second hole, and we're going to interlock these two gears. And step number 3, we're going to take our A10, and it's going to go in the third hole towards the top there, also interlocking the gears. We're going to turn it all around, and we're going to need two 35s and 31s. 3 more gears. 35 bottom right, bottom left, a little below the middle there. Those are 35s, and 31 is a little to the right of the center line. So once again, clean out the burrs. Wax them up. All the teeth. guess today is the perfect weather to do it. We got 14 degrees outside. Alright, wax up the gears, all the gear teeth. And 31 is going to go onto the gear on the left. Remember, there's a directionality. And put a little bit of wax, it'll make it easier. Now I need to figure out which side it was. All right. Same side, just check where that longer portion of the gear on the opposite end goes into. Put this in. I need to reinsert these guys because they fell out. Make sure the gears interlock. And then 37 is going to go on the other two. 35, sorry. These are not directional, but I still wax these guys slightly. And make sure you hold it from the bottom as you, let me turn it. As I said, it does, by the gears it doesn't look like there's a direction, but there is a directionality. And then the third one, that should interlock here, and it will interlock with the top gear here. Now wax. All the way in, nice and flat. And we got good connection here. And then we need part number 32 and 36. 36 is going to be a little bit to the left of the center line, and 32 is almost at the edge. There's a few of them, so 32 is going to go on the larger A8 part. Oh, we need to wax on the outside of it. It's the larger gear, the larger cylinder. It doesn't go all the way in, so, and then 36 gonna go at the third one from the left. And the gear that it interlocks with the large gear. Moving on to the page number 9. That's we need step number 6. We need part number 38, which is on board number 5, below the middle on the left hand side. And let's see, that's gonna go over the gears onto these tabs that are sticking out. One, two, 3 places. Make sure these fall right into the place. And then we're gonna need part number 39. for the step number 7. Part number 39 and 36. Board number 1. 39 is going to be a little bit below the middle on the left hand side, and then 36 to the left of the center line. 36 needs to be waxed. And obviously 39 also. And don't forget to remove all these little extra material that may get stuck in between the teeth. And it's going to go over this little tab that is sticking out. All the way, and lock it up with part number 36. Nice and flush. Step number 8, we need parts number 4. Part number 4. That one's going to be at the center of board number 1. Second one. Remove the centerpiece. Once again, a little bit of a wax on the teeth. Sand. Just to remove, I guess, all the burrs. And then wax on the inside and wax on all the teeth on the outside. That's going to get installed opposite of the other gear from the winding mechanism. And we need to match our little dashes that are on there. Make sure there's no extra material, and matching the dash. There they are, 2 of them, and we just need to make sure that we are matching those up from the opposite end. Wait. The teeth will be facing the opposite direction right now, so that's good. And the dashes are matching too. This and this. And on the opposite end, same thing. Alrighty. Next, I do see a little bit of extra material in there. I'm going to use my paper clip to take it out. That will definitely give us a little bit of a trouble. We're here, turn around. Everything is locked in place, which is good. And then we lock it with part number 40 from this side. Part number 40 is going to be on board number 5, a little bit above the center line on the right. And I just need to make sure that everything falls into place. We got all these gears that need to go inside. And snap all the way in. Careful with this part because it's not, there we go. It's not a plywood, it's MDF, so a little bit more fragile. And make sure everything is snapped in 1, 2, 3 places. These are within the circles, and this one is within, so all nice and good. And then step number 9, we need part number 41 on board number 1, top right. Wax a little bit on inside these little teeth, and this is gonna go and lock this sub-assembly, flat portion, and then we insert this from the top. I'm gonna use my helping tool to help me push it all the way in so it's nice and flush and circular. And then part number 42, they're on board number 1. There's one right in the middle on the right hand side, and there's top right for the second one, and they're facing up, opposite from that. Two of them go over the parts number 1, and that's our A11 on page number 9. Moving on to page number 12, sorry, page number 10. 12 is too early. Move that part on a side. Check, make sure the video is still running. And step number 1 on page number 10. Parts number 43 and 44, board number 1, top left. And then 45 is going to be bottom right. And part number 36, one more somewhere top left. All right, so 36 needs to be waxed on the outside. So is part number 45. Burrs, edges. Use your helping tool to remove it. And wax every single part. Every single tooth all around. All right, and then 44 goes into 43. The hole is going to be on the left hand side and stay there. So the 45 is going to go from the right all the way, and then lock it up with 36. Make sure the colored surface towards the outside. And that's our A12. I'm going to take our sub-assembly. A12 is going to go with the L shape towards you. It's going to go into that weird shaped hole in the middle. We're going to turn it around, and we're going to lock it up with part number 46. Top right of board number 1, and part number 7 on the bottom left of board number 1. 7 needs to be waxed, and so is 46, every single tooth. Alrighty, so it's going to go over this little tab. Interlocking with that gear that is sticking out. And then lock it up with part number 7. So it bounces around a little bit. And then we need to lock this in with part number 47 and 48, board number 4. 47 on the bottom right. It's going to go on front, L facing towards the left. So this is in the right direction for us. We're going to go and lock it up. only on one side right now. Push that little gear in so it's flush with the surface right here. Flip it upside down and put part number 48 on the opposite end, bottom right of board number 4. And the same thing. Over the holes, there's only one tab to catch it on. And make sure everything is nice and flush. And part number 49 is going to go through the back here with the L facing towards the left. Board number 49 is also, let's see, that's going to be board number 1. Not also, but board number 1. It's in a little bit above the middle on the right hand side. And that's going to go from the right here to lock into these little openings. There's like slight little tabs. I'll probably put a little bit of wax on there to make sure it locks nice and good. Alright, all the way in. And the next step, number 4, we need part number 50. Board number 4 again. Top right. And let's see, with the color surface towards the bottom, it's going to go from that L shape. If you have it as an L, correct L, it's going to go from the right hand side. On the bottom here, through these slots. And then we need to push it all the way in for it to lock these two little things, little cutouts, lock within each other, and it's going to be flush. On the bottom here, although it doesn't show flush, but doesn't show flush here, but it shows that we need to snap it. So for me, it came out flush. Let's see the step number 5. We need part number 51 and 52, also on board number 4. 52 is bottom left. 51 is going to be on board number 6. And bottom right, spare, bottom left. Alrighty, so 51 is first with the two little openings towards the bottom. It's going to go from the same side. Onto here, onto the tabs on the right and left. You do have a spare just in case. So these two sticking out, these two, so it is supposed to be flush, that part number 50. It's not showing correctly, and that's step number 5. And then part number 52, that's the last one on this page. Or these two top tabs. That's locked it, locks it in, and step number 6. Alrighty. Moving on to page number 11. Step number 1. On the left side, we need board number 3. And we're all over the place here. Need part number 53, bottom right. Another part number 53, bottom left. And part number 54 would be on the left hand side, 2 of them. Flip it upside down and insert, maybe with the help of helping tool. make a little key. All right. So once we make the key, we're on A13. I need to verify, make sure our mechanism works. All right, so first step, we need to make sure this is lifted up as a stop. Second step, we insert the key into our little tabs here. And need to work it in. And then we need to do step number 3 and 4. 3 is insert, so 3 rotated counterclockwise, max 6 to 9 times. Half turns, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Take the key out and start. And then if it doesn't work, step number 6, we need to move this little tab. Where is it at? It's right here. Back and forth. That's an L shape on behind the little key. Front and back. Rotational. This guy up and down. And need to move a little gears, the little fan gears, the ones that are in the middle. Move it through to unwind the mechanism. So it's going to take us a little bit to work it in, but then eventually it's going to start moving on its own. Not sure if I can stick my fingers in there, probably not. So need a little bit of a working, playing with the mechanism. If everything is waxed and sanded correctly, it'll take a little bit less time. And at some point of time, you'll be able to just push it through without much hesitation. So we're just working all that gear mechanism in. And we're going to need to work it in until it unwinds on its own. I already see some motion on its own, as you can see. I don't know if you can see it or not on the video. But as you work it through, the mechanism unwinds. All right, let's try again. Insert the key. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll do 6 this time because I don't think I unwound completely. I forgot to lock it, but it's still pretty tight in there, so it's not unwinding easy yet. Let's see if 5 times is going to be enough for us. Continue playing. I wish I had access to the gears with hand, so it's just easier to play with it. But it is what it is. Need to deal with a little helping tool. And here we go. A little bit more unwinding. Alright, one more time, lock it up. Well, we need to do it a few more times until it runs nice and smooth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nothing yet. Now it's a little bit easier and I can feel it. As you can see, I'm only moving the gear. I don't need to move the hammer mechanism anymore. I think a few more runs and it's just going to unwind it on its own. Once that hammer starts moving on its own, it'll be unwinding by itself. And we need to make sure that it does, because if we're gonna stop right here and continue with the assembly, your final assembly is not gonna work. Or it will work eventually, but you will have to spend much more time working everything in, and then the part's gonna be much harder to reach. So you're better off just doing it now. And all I'm doing right now is because the gears are finally broken in a little bit, I'm just moving the hammer up and down just to release that gear mechanism till it fully unwinds. And then we'll do like a few more tries until, as I said, until, okay, so we reached the end, I believe. No, we haven't. Probably somewhere a burr. Okay, let's see where we at. Let's see, so we're locked. We played with this sub-assembly back and forth as we were starting. It took some tries, but I think we are where we need to be. And I'm about to break this key. Let's see, does it work? Here we go. So that's what you're looking for. That's what needs to happen. It's pretty much unwinding all the way through, all the way to the end. And we're on page number 11. We're moving on to page number 12, and we continue our sub-assembly with step number 1. Top left corner, we need board number 1. Let's see, part number 55, that's on the right hand side. This guy right here, right around where I broke off the pieces, so carefully taking it out. And then part number 56, this is on the middle on the left hand side. So 56 gonna go in the middle hole, or the hole that is closest in the middle, to the middle here. And then 55 is gonna go the one up front. And just make sure you seat it all the way, lock it in, and move it all the way in. Right, next step is part number 57. That's gonna go, as you look at the L shape, it's gonna go on the left hand side, or right hand side, sorry, if you're looking straight at it. So on the L shape, if you're looking from that angle, it's 57 on board number 3. And part number 57 would be bottom right and bottom left. So take one of those. This is a bit thinner board. And with the taller piece towards these 57 and 58, it's gonna go through. We're gonna lock it over 50, what is it, 55? Sorry, 55 and 56. And push it all the way in until it locks into that side panel. Gonna have to play with it a little bit to make sure it fits in correctly, and we snap it all the way in. All right, next step, let's clean up here a little bit. Next step, we have step number 3, part number 58 and 7. Those are on board number 1. 58 is the top right corner. And let's see where the 7 is. 7 is going to be on board number 2. On the left side, bottom left. There's a couple more on the bottom here too. So we need to wax both of these guys on the outside. And it looks like we need to use a lot of them. So that was the first one. And we're going to need 5 of these. I'm going to put some wax on these parts too. To make sure that we can go all the way in. All the way to the end. One number 58 and one number 50, number 7. So let's go back to board number 1. We're gonna take the other 58 from here, gonna use it up, and we need 4 more 58s from board number 2. Bottom left 1, a little bit to the right of the center line number 2, and then board number 3 on the bottom here, bottom left 3 and 4 to the left of the center line. Not sure if we need to wax them, but I would, just to be on the safe side. Once again, if it's a cylindrical piece, you never know, there could be going something over it, and we just need to make sure that everything is waxed and ready to go if something goes over it. All right, let's see. Just as I said, be on the safe side. 1. So we need a total of 5. We did 1, 3, 4, and 5. And then we need a total of 4 number 7s. That's board number 2, bottom left. 1, 2, 3. So same thing, I would wax it just to be on the safe side. Total 4. Had 1 installed, and three more. All right, now we flip it 180 degrees, and we install part number 57, which is on board number 3, bottom left now. It's going to go on the opposite end. So do the same thing, just wiggle it, make sure we can fit it in, and then snap it right into the holes. And we need to make sure it's all the way in. There you go. Snapped in. And we'll do the same thing. So I'm going to put a little bit wax on these part number 57 and 55. And we're going to do total 5 of the number 58. Let's see, bottom, we're on board number 3 now. There's going to be part number 58 bottom right. 1, 2. Let's see where else we can find those. One of the pieces that fell out, that's within part number 80. There's 2 more. So that's total 4. And I'm gonna wax, and I need 5th one. That's most likely on board number 2. Because that's the one that I haven't taken everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's total 10. I'm counting how many are on the boards. So my guess it's going to be on board number 2. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Did I install more than needed on one side? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Good job, Dimitri. I just did one extra on the opposite end, so we just need 5, not 6. Hey, it's late at night. Sorry about that. And then number 7s, bottom left of board number 2, need 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 2 more 7s in the bottom corner. Probably gonna use it somewhere later because they don't show the plus sign to them, so those are not spares. So I'm gonna wax them too. And they're gonna go on that shorter piece. So 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's gonna be our A14. We're at step number 7. Page number 12, moving on to page number 13. All right. Page number 13, step number 1 at the top. We need to combine parts number 59 and 60. They're on board number 2, a little below the middle on the left-hand side. And we just put one into another, 2 forks, and snap it all the way in. Next step is part number 61, which is on board number 3. It's right above the middle here at the top. And this one with the, doesn't matter, with these 2 little, as it opens up away from you, that's going to go from the bottom, and then your A, which is the larger side, should be going in the vertical direction. So there's one piece that is a little bit larger. Hard to tell which one. I think you can find it by blindly pointing in. You'll see which one is larger. So there's like one larger spot right here. That's going to go away from you, and it's going to go from the bottom. And then we need 2 parts number 62. They're on board number 4. A little below the middle on the left-hand side here. And they're going to go from the bottom with the larger piece away from you. Into the slot. As I said, larger piece away from you. And then part number 63 also on board number 4, bottom left. And part number 64 looks like that one's going to be on board number 1. A little bit below the middle on the left hand side. And then that part 64 needs to be waxed all around. And we're going to do part number 64 over this sub-assembly into the parts number 62. Snap on both sides. All the way. Make sure everything sits nice and tight. And then our 64 is going to go over a little sub-assembly here, all the way to the surface. Next, step number 5 on the bottom left. Let's clean up a little bit here. That's going to be parts number 6. They're on board number 65, sorry, 6 times. They're in that little circle right in the middle on the left-hand side. Right hand side, I apologize. As I mentioned before, there's late night, so, well, define late. Like 9:30 p.m. Alrighty, so I'm gonna use a little sandpaper or precision file and just slightly apply it on the connection points, just a tiny bit. So you just need to remove that connection. The wood may split a little bit, but as long as you have that cylinder on the outside, you should be pretty good. As long as it doesn't split completely. I mean, if a little piece comes off, should be still fine. All right, now we need to apply the wax. I'm gonna go to the new one all around, and this is gonna go within these slots. Part number 64, 63, sorry. More, and then step number 6, we're going to be applying or putting part number 66 over the top to lock this in, and that one is in the bottom, a little bit to the right of the center line of board number 1. The longer piece going to go towards you, towards this arch, and we're just going to go over us. Looks like it's just free roaming. Our next step is part number 67 to lock this in. This is also on board number 1, bottom left. And that's going to go from the longer side through the middle here, locking it in, and keep it attached. So this should rotate all around. Nice and easy. So that's going to be our part A15, sub-assembly A15. On the right hand side, we have step number 1, 2, 3 with the metal pin. There's 21 millimeter one, so this is 15. So those are the longer ones. Right, so we need 2 of them. Pull them out of the box. Hold on, let me clean up here a little bit. All right, and then we need parts number 68, total 4 of them. On board number 1, 1, 2, all the way bottom right, on the right below the middle, and on the left in the middle. That's 4, and we can put that board on the side because we don't have anything else anymore on there. And then on board number 2, there's 2 parts, number 69. They're a little bit to the left of the center line. on the bottom there. All right, so let's see, careful with the pin not to puncture you. We're gonna push it through that little hole, start it up, and use your table as a leverage just to bring it over. Same thing with the second part. And then just press it against the table to level it out, and then part number 69 is gonna go over it with the pin sticking out on the side of part number 69. So this colorful part towards the top, and pin sticks out the same direction. So now we're doing the same thing with the second set. Start up on 68. Push the pin in. You can use your helping tool to help you get a little bit pressure on. Put the second one in. Whichever side, just as long as you get the pin in and through. Clean out that extra material and level it out. And now part number 69 through the top and all the way. So it should be flat on one side, and on the side of 69 stick out completely. Moving on to the page number 14. Gonna take our little sub-assembly, and this piece gonna go on top, A15, with a rounded surface towards the L, and then this little flat piece on the bottom. So there's 4 tabs, and we're just gonna attach onto those, and it will go only one way on, because there is 6 tabs total. 2, so the longer part on the bottom, that longer piece gonna go towards the away from the L. Yep. One side and the second side, all the way in on both ends, and then that should spin on the top. That's step number 2. Step number 2.1. Step number 2.2 would be part number 70. Which is on board number 4. Top left, we're gonna need 2 of them, with the line towards the top. We're gonna apply it on this side at the top. Are we gonna need 2 of them? Squeeze it as much as you can, and put that part number 70 over. Scratch that. We're gonna need to go on inside first. It's gonna go on this side first towards the L. So once again, make sure it's completely squeezed, and then the rounded off portion should go towards away from you towards the back there. Now we flip this upside down. It's gonna go only a little bit. And then towards the rounded portion, that's where the other 70 goes, with the slot, that little dash towards the top. So I'm looking at the back, now just like this. And there's a little bit of a movement back and forth. And that's our step number 2. Step number 3, with the L towards U, the A16 is gonna go on the left and right hand side on this little piece here. So let's see, one on the right with the pin is going to be towards you all the way. And the one on the left is going to go with the pin away from you. Still a little bit winding left. Pieces slightly falling out, and we're gonna move to the page number 15. All right, page number 15, test it out. Same thing. Let's see, we're gonna lock it up. We're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Gonna do our start, and it should just move through, cycle through the whole thing. So if it doesn't, you do about 5 times. So I worked through the mechanism in the previous couple hours, or on a previous step. Now I don't have to walk through it because it's already running smoothly all the way through. All right, moving on to the page number 16. Step number 1. We have part number 71, and that's going to be on board number 3 in the top right corner. This is a little long fragile part, and there's part number 72, so all these parts within that part are spares, so we can take it out together first, and then I'm going to take carefully part number 71 off of the these spare parts. You got to be careful with this one because it is fragile. And then part number 72 is bottom right and top right and top left. Use your helping tool if it doesn't come out very easy. And I have some parts sitting on top here. I just want to make sure that they don't fall off and I don't lose them somewhere. All right, so part number 72 is going to go on the right and left hand side, so we need to split this open a little bit, put the parts on, the right and then on the left, and with the tabs, they're going with the tabs down. So it doesn't matter if you lift it up or down, just like this. And then 1.3, we need part number 73, which is on also board number 3 at the top here. So 73 is within part number 76. So make sure 76 stays intact, and you put 73 and these two little tabs with the longer side of that circle towards the inside. All right, so the tab's gonna go into it. Nice and clean. And that's our C1. Step number 1 on the right, top right, part number 74. It's going to be on bottom of board number 5, right at the center. Port number 76, that's the one on board number 3, top right at the center. At the top, now we have to pull the 73 from inside of it, and then port number 70, what is it, 75 would be on the bottom left of the same board number 3. So the 75 is going to lock the 76 in place. Right, so 76 is going to go right over this little circle, and let's see, it's pretty much symmetrical, so it doesn't matter which way. There's little holes with the little tabs right next to them on a port number 76, so that's where the 75 is going to go, locking it in right in between these little tabs, right? And then you insert this the tab with the split with a cut through it. That's the one that goes in. Points. Probably shouldn't push all the way in right away, but it's done. Locked it in. And then the next step, we need 8 parts number 77. They're on board number 3. And top a little bit to the right of the center line, there are 4. And then looks like on board number 2, right? Yeah. There's more on the right hand side here, 2 more. That's 6 on board number 3, bottom right, a little below the middle. So I got 6 so far. I need 8 total. Those are 75s. They're top right, right above part number 72. And these gonna go into all the holes around. Let's see, 2 right here, 1, 2, with the holes in this direction, or slots. 1, 2. Then we're gonna go 2 on the outside, on the right hand side, because I rotated a little bit. 2 square holes to the bottom of that circle, and then 2 on the left hand side, I guess. As I'm rotating it, it's my right, left, so all around this little circle, all the little rectangular square holes except these 2 on the left and right. And now we take our C1 part, and with the cover within the circle, and the hinge is going to be towards those little triangles, we're going to install over right into these little openings that we just did of part number 77 in little slots. And as you insert, that cover is going to slide through, so it should be able to open it from inside. And I will just work it up and down, make sure it's nice and easy to open. And that's step number 4. We need part number 79, 2 of them, and 78. 79 is going to be, looks like, on board number 2. Bottom a little bit to the right of the center line. And then part number 78 is on that little board number 6 to the left. First step, we're gonna take the 79s and the thinner part towards you. We're gonna insert right into this little sides of the grill, right? So the thinner part is gonna be towards the longer side on the left and right. And then this little piece is gonna go into the board in these sets of 4 holes. Just like this. So the grill is on top, and then once again we just test it, make sure this opens and closes. And make sure this sits all the way in, and this cover opens up nice and easy. You want to put a little bit of a wax here so it doesn't squeeze it as much, but it doesn't matter at the end. Moving on to the page number 17. Clean up a little bit. Check, make sure we're still operational. And step number 1 at the top of page number 17, need part number 80, 81, 2 of them, 82 and 83. Let's see, board number 3, we pulled some parts out already, so that would be part number, not the one that I'm looking for, but it looks like board number, let's see, 3, part number 80. That was this large guy. 80 is this one, right? Yes. So that's the one with the 2 circles. Then part number 82 and 83 are on board number 5. Is the top left. That's going to be on the left hand side, and 83 is bottom left. That's going to be on the right hand side. And here we go. And then parts number 81, it looks like on board number 3. They're bottom right or bottom left, whichever you want to start. Let's do left. We just need 2 of them for now. They're gonna go from the bottom. There's 2 holes from the bottom into those holes through the parts. Into these rectangular holes of part number 82 first, in my case. And then the second one is into part number 83. And then step number 2, we need parts number 81 again on the bottom right. And then 2 parts number 85. Those gonna be on board number 5, top left. And now they're gonna go from the top into these 2 holes on the left. Hold on. On the left hand side and right hand side to lock these 2 parts in. All the way in, all the way through, and then parts number 84 from the bottom. They're also on board number 3, bottom left and bottom right. These gonna go from the bottom through these holes on the left and right with the sharp points towards the part. So away from you, just this way. Well, no, sharp is towards you, but the slope is away. Then we put the part number 85 over those. And lock it up with port number 86. That one was already taken out. Also on board number 3 at the bottom. This one. And it's going to go over here. And that's our subassembly D. Just like this. Put it on the side. Step number 1 on the bottom of page number 17. We have part number 87. That's going to be on board number 3 on the left hand side here. And then parts number 88, 2 of them. They're going to be on the right hand side, a little bit towards the top. 2 parts number 88. And they're going to go, let's see, there's 2 slots with the little dashes here. So with the single tab towards the top, 1 tab, 2 tab, I'm sorry. The arched surface towards the top, 1 tab towards the top, and then it just gets on the inside with the 2 dashes. Next step is 2. We need part number 89, and we need 6 of them. They're also in the same location. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Six. Top left. And these look a little bit differently. Also the tab towards the inside. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 pieces goes all around. And then step number 3, we're going to put part number 90, also on board number 3 on the bottom left. That one's going to go on the top of this little symmetrical circle now of little tabs. And kind of going to need to play with it a little bit to get the tabs inside. Just need to match the tabs and slowly put it over it. That's going to be our E1. We're going to put this on the side. For further instruction, in step 1 on the bottom and the middle here, we need part number 91, 92, 93, and 94. They all should be on board number 3. Let's see, 93, a little bit above the middle on the left. 94 is the same location. 91 is there. Let's see what else we need. 92. 91, 92 is going to be a little bit below the middle on the left hand side, right at the edge. 92, 94. So 93 is going to go up front with the fork towards the left hand side. 92, 93, 92 is going to go in the left hole from the back. And then 94 with the 2 tabs towards the top The little rectangular hole is on the left hand side, and that's going to go into port number 92. But first we need to put port number 91 into the bottom hole on the right from the back, and we push these all the way through, and then port number 94 on the left, up behind with a little spacing there in between. And then step number 2, we need port number 95, also top left, and 98, 97. 98 is on the left, 97 is on the right. All right, so 95 is gonna go on the hole top right. Push it through both holes all the way. And then we put 97 on the left hand side. With the holes, so the shorter piece is away from you, the longer piece is towards you. It's a trapezoid. The angled piece is on the right, and the same thing on port number 98. Just like this. And that's our E2. Moving on to the page number 18. Step number 1, we need parts number 101, 99, 100, 101, and 102. Board number 2. The 101 is already out. Part number 100. $99. Where's 99? 99 is going to be on board number 6. Let's see. Is it board number 6? Yeah. At the center on the left. Port number 100 and 102. It's going to be on board number 2. No, it's not going to be there, or it will be. On the bottom, 100 is in the bottom right. Just need one of them. And then 102 will be a little bit below the middle on the right hand side. So 102 is going to go from the bottom, and when we situate the part like this with that little extension towards the top left, we're going to go 102 from the bottom. All the way. 99's on the top. So it's going to be like a little wing sticking out a little bit. And 100 is going to be from the top, locking these two parts in. That's our step number 1. Step number 2, we're going to need part number E2 that we just assembled. That's going to go into this little, over this little tab with the 2 flat pieces going where the dashes are at. They're going to be over this little tab. Because they don't need to lock into anything. We need to make sure that all these little tabs go through and nice and flat from this side, nice and tight. And then part number E1 that we just assembled with the fork towards the bottom, it's going to go through. And as we we push it upside down. Put step number 3. We need part number 103. That's on board number 3. Bottom left. 104 right above it. And 105. 105 is going to be on board number 2, but a little bit below the middle on the left hand side. So 105 waxed and 104 waxed all around. And then these forks, I'll just put a little bit of a wax. So 103 is going to go into the fork of this little turret. Easier said than done. Practice first. Unpractice and practice again. There you go, all the way through and locked. Then we do 104, which is waxed. And we push it in as far as it can go. And then part number 105 even further, because that's the one that's going to be a little bit deeper in. And it should sit with that little tab, so when you rotate. Wait, it's not liked by anything? No. And then we're gonna lock it with part number 106, which is on board number 2 at the top left, bottom left, sorry. That's not going anywhere. And then step number 5, we need parts number 107, 108, 109, and 110. So they're all at the top, looks like it. Board number 3. That was 103. And 104 was there. So board number 2. We got parts number 107, little right in the middle on the left. 108, they're all in the same location. 109, and then 110. So 110 is going to go into 109 with the thick tab from the right hand side, and the thicker portion towards you, and that's going to go into the 3 tabs right here. So there's a little triangle, so closer to the triangle on the right hand side from the bottom. And then 108, same thing, thicker portion towards you. The 107 is going to go from the left hand side. And now it's with a smaller tab. And that's going to go into the 1, 2, 3 whole set to the left of this. just like this. Looks like I'm gonna have to glue this thing in as this little gun falls out. And then this should be turning around. On the axis. All right, we're gonna take a little pause. That was page number 19. And we'll be back. Okay, page 19, step number 1, we need parts number 112, 111 and 112. Let's see, looks like that's board number 3. 111 top left corner, and 112 is going to be, let's see, bottom right. All right, so this is 112 is going to go into 111 right in the center here. And then step number 2, we need to add 2 ports number 113. They're top left corner there on board number 3, same board. These gonna go, the tabs are facing the same direction as this tab, or I guess the cannons. And there's 3 holes that we need to fit it on. And this is going to be looking like this. Step number 3, we need ports number 114 to and 2 115s. So 115s are right at the center here at the top of board number 3. And then 114s, these are little, that's a spare one. Bottom left of board number 3 are the 2 number 114s. So 114 is going to go first on, and we need to wax them. So just put a little bit of wax on these little teeth that it's got. On both of these. And then they go on the left and right hand side of this little cannon thing. And then part number 115. With the little cutout towards the back, they're gonna go on the left and right hand side, just like this. Next step number 4, we need part number 118. That would be on board number 3 right at the center here. 117 and 116. So 117 is going to be top right corner of board number 3, and then 116 looks like that's board number 1. Oh, I have put it aside, so there's still one more part. That's why I didn't throw it out. So let's see, 116 is gonna go through the back of these 2 guys. So there's like cutouts, and we match these cutouts, and then it's gonna go with the thinner portion down. It's gonna go into these 2 holes. 2 rectangular holes on the sides here on the bottom, and then 2 square holes. That's where part number 116 is gonna get attached to this little part, collared face towards the back, just like this. And then 117 is gonna go into the top 2, the uppermost holes with the collared portion towards the top, just like this. And step number 5, we need part number 119 and 120. So let's see, 120 would be on board number 3, top left here. There, we just need 2 for now, for this step. And then part number 119 is on little board number 6, right, the center. So let's see, 120s, we're gonna kind of lay that part against the surface of part number 118, and 2 bottom holes. 120 is gonna hold it. Left and right hand side, right and left. Hold this part in there. And then step number 6, the other 2 parts 120, top left corner. These gonna hold the top portion, and then we need 2 parts 121. They're board number 2 on the bottom, a little bit to the left of the center line. So let's see, 120 is gonna go to hold this plate in 119 on the left and right hand side. And then 121, I would put a little bit of wax on these little tabs at the top on this little T, and then these gonna go on left and right, right and left, with the tabs up. These little tabs facing up. And 122 is gonna go on the left side, 123 on the right hand side. They're also on this little board of 6, top left corner, 123 on the right, with the little cutout towards the top. And they need to kind of close down a little bit, and here the angled portion also cut out towards the top, angled portion towards the bottom. So kind of matching this little surface of part number 119, and just make sure you have it all the way in. Nice and flush. All right, and then step number F, I mean that's part F, we just need to make sure that this rotates up and down. These little weapons, nice and freely, with a little hesitation, because there's like a little tab that's working against the teeth. All right, let's move on to page number 20. This is on the side, page number 20. We need part number 124, which is going to be on board number 3, a little bit below the middle on the right hand side. Parts number 88, those are top left. There's 2 parts. Remember, they're slightly different from 89, so we're kind of doing the same thing, and we need 5 89s. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all on the top left in my case. Board number 3. In your case, it might be at top right. All right. So let's see. The short ones will go where the little dashes are, single dashes. So that's 1 tab that is going towards the top. It's going to be towards the inside, and then 2 parts number 88 on those dashes, and then 5 we enter they're actually part number 125 first. 125 is going to be top right corner there. Let's pull that one out, and that one's going to go in step number 2 where the double dash is at. So tab is towards the inside the circle, just enter it in. And then step number 3, part number 89, same as before, with the tabs towards the inside. They're gonna go into other 5 holes that are still available. All around. Then step number 4, part number 90, on board number 3, bottom right. That one's gonna go over the top, over all these little tabs. Kind of need to play with them a little bit to make sure that they're right above the holes. Snap it in, and you're gonna have G1, a little sub-assembly. let's see. We're gonna go down to assemble G2. We need part number 127, 126, 104, and 128. So 126, 127 top right. 104 is going to be right about to the right, and then 128 right below the middle on the right hand side. So 127 is going to go into 126 all the way. So the two tabs are sticking out on the right and left hand side. So from the right side, we're going to do part number 104 and then lock it up with 128. Then on the left hand side in step number 2, we need 2 more 104s. They're top right, and then 128 bottom right. That's going to go from the left side and then part number 96, that's bottom right of board number 3. That's going to go from the bottom, and we push it all the way up with the colored surface towards the top, towards this little sub-assembly, and it's going to go all the way to the little step here. That's our G2. Step number 1 on the right of page number 20. We need part number 129. That is going to be on board number 2, bottom right, or right at the center, I guess. Part number 102, which is to the right, a little bit below the center line. Part number 100. That one's bottom right. And then part number 130, that would be on board number 6, a little below the middle on the right hand side. So we're gonna look at this little corner right here with the step. Part number 102 is gonna go from the bottom and then hold all the way on the left. Let's see. And part number 130 is going to go over it with this little overhang towards the thicker portion of the part. And then part number 100 from the top through the other rectangular hole. And then if it doesn't get, like, it doesn't go in very easy, just put a little bit of wax on it, and it'll help to slide this through. All right, that was step number 1. Step number 2, we're gonna go over this little piece. First, we're gonna do our G2, and let's see, the cutout should be towards this little opening here. So we match all these little holes and carefully slide them in. So the cutout match right here. And then G1 is gonna go G2. I guess the numbers are flipped here, but G2 is gonna go over from the top, little cannon. We're gonna flip it over. I'm gonna go to page number 21 and then put part number 103, 104, and 105. So that's board number 3 for part number 103, bottom right. Part number 104 is right above it. And part number, let's see, 105 would be on board number 2 in the bottom left here, a little bit below the middle. So we do need to wax both 105 and 104. And then same as before, 103 is going to go in as far as it can, flush. Then we're going to put part number 104 and that's going to go below the surface. And then part number 105 flush with the surface with this little tab to kind of lock it in. And then we're going to lock it with part number 106, which is on board number 2, bottom left. So that one you can see where the cutout is. And then we need to go into that cutout, pushing it in. I would use the helping tool to get it all the way in. And now our little cannon should be able to turn all around nice and easy. All right, step number 1 on the right hand side. Page number 21. Let's see, we need 2. So this thing is installed incorrectly. So the round of surface should be towards the inside. And how did I turn it around? I'm just gonna flip it over carefully. So that's towards the inside. No, I'm wrong. Towards the outside. Scratch that. So we need to rotate this. So our little pointy thing is facing towards the top. So let it go. And we need to do just a little unlock. Here we go. Until it unwinds and stays in that, or you can just wind it up for it to stay in the upper position. So one or the other. It's either you wind up and turn it around to bring it in 12 o'clock, or you release it, let it unwind, and we'll stop at 12 o'clock. Moving on to page number 22, and in that position we're gonna add all these parts that we just assembled. So part number C is gonna go on first. That's the one with the little cover, and the grill is gonna go towards the L. All right, so that's gonna go over onto these 2 little tabs that are sticking out. There's 2 holes, correct? And here we go step by step. So part number 1 is on these tabs. There's 2 holes on here, so that's the ones that we're putting it on. Correct. One side and the other side. Snap it on. Step number 4 for the D. We're gonna go from the bottom into the top here, into the part number C. That's how it's supposed to look. Part E, we do not snap just yet, and it's gonna go from this side. The C is the one with the nice little guns here. So that's gonna go through these holes, and then we do not snap. We bring this little tab through. It's gonna be towards the top, and then we need to turn it around. Let's see. Just trying to figure out which tabs. So the gun should face this way. We're just gonna sit it on the back. portion, we don't snap it in. It just sticks out a little bit right now, so we don't push it in just yet. And then part number F, which is the smaller one with the guns facing towards the top, that's gonna go at the top here, kind of slide in, because there is a, looks like there is a, these two tabs, wait, hold on. How are they gonna go? Yeah, through the top tabs, just like this. It's gonna stay at the top, and there's two tabs, this and this. They're gonna go into this little board here. That'd be my assumption. Let's see if I'm correct. And yeah, and then that's when we snap. So now we're gonna go through, and then we snap into these two tabs. Make sure they match up, and that top one. So now we push it all the way in. Locations. So these two tabs right here and this one, now we can push it in, and it's gonna be flush right here. This thing falls off a little bit, so I'm gonna put it back in and keep it there with my finger. One of the guns fell off, as I mentioned. I'm probably gonna have to glue it because this one keeps on falling out. So I'll fix that in as probably closer to the end, and then we turn it around and we put the other piece on, kind of like in a similar fashion. We're gonna start with the back and slowly snap everything into place, line everything up, and get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tabs snapped in. All right, so this thing has a little bit of an opening, and we're in step number 9. We're gonna put part number 132, 131. They're all on board number 6. 131 top left. 132 is gonna be top right. And then part number 120, that's on board number 3 in the top right corner here. So let's see, it's gonna go on, as this is the front on the right hand side, we're gonna go, oh, not all the way in here. It's gonna go on these two tabs first. Oh, probably we need to slide it into the little hole here with the cutout. Line it up, slide it in, and then snap it onto these two tabs. And then let's see, part number 32 is gonna go on a bottom tab with a cutout matching the hole, and then we lock it up with part number 120 here. Let's see, and then we turn it around and we do the same thing. Part number 133 top right, part number 134 top left, or center line I want to say, and then part number 120 on board number 3 top right. There's one spare just in case, and same thing, so we slide it in first, then we snap it onto the two tabs that are sticking out. The bottom piece 134 is gonna go onto this tab that is sticking out, and then this little hole, that's where part number 120 is gonna go into, and we're gonna snap it in. Locking it in. and that's our subassembly H. All right, so it's wobbly a little bit. Guns. This one falls out. Maybe I should glue it on before we lose it completely. Just a little bit, tiny amount of glue right there. Now it's not gonna go anywhere. Need a little piece of paper to clean this off. And lock it in once again. Bob Smith Industries. Not sponsored, just the glue I like. It's nice and super. Very thin, goes into all the crevices, locks the part in place within a split second, and also locks your fingers in place within a split second, so you gotta be very, very careful with it. Alrighty, moving on to page number 24, step number 1 at the top. Let's see, there's a long warning sign. If the axles are not noticeably tilted after inserting them into part 135, use a matching part from a different board. So, if the axles are noticeably tilted. So you need to make sure that they are not tilted. We need part number 135. That one's going to be on board number 5, top right, and we're going to need to make 2 of them. So we're going to insert them first. There's a couple spare ones. I don't think I have any other board that part is 135 in. Probably means that use the other parts just in case. All right, and the little pins that we get is this 16 millimeter. That's the smaller ones, right? So we need 4 of these guys. And we're gonna go through the holes from the top. I guess it wouldn't matter which side. It does. No, because they're gonna be symmetrical, so it doesn't matter which side they go from. Gonna go one side and the other side and level them out. Make sure they're about symmetrical and check the tilt. So in my case, it looks like they're pretty parallel to each other. So I think we're good on the first part, and let's do the second one. Pre-insert, and push it against the table. Get them about halfway. Check the straightness. Looks good to me. Pretty straight to each other. Use the spare parts if they're not. And then let's see, we're gonna go down. Step number 1 on the bottom left of this page. We're gonna need part number 136, and we're gonna need 2 of them. Right, so they're on board number 5. 136 going to be, or board number 4. No, board number 5. So 136 bottom right, and then 136 on board number 4, top left. And then we need 137 and 138. Looks like those are on board number 2. 137 is a top left and top right. And then 138, middle left, middle right. All right, so we're gonna take our little 136 with the paint towards the bottom there. 137 is gonna go in this diagonal opening, 2 holes. Make sure it's all the way in. In both of those, once again, we're creating 2. That's what we need. So that's why I'm doing right away. If they don't go very easy, use your helping tool just to push it in, give it a little bit of a leverage. 138 is going to go into the hole in the back. 2 holes. And then step number 2, up front with the little grill here, that's the pin that's going to go into the hole of part number 136. And they need to have a little bit of a room in between each other, so just a slight tiny room so it can go swivel nice and easy. And we're gonna lock it up with part number 139. So one is in the top right corner of board number 4, and board number 5 is right in the middle on the right hand side. So these we're gonna go insert it over the pin. Once again, a little bit of a room, and then we're gonna lock it in onto the tabs in the back. And there's a little bit of room. There should be movement, nice and easy. If you can just split it apart a little bit if needs to be. And same thing we're gonna do with the other one. Match up the location, insert over the little pin, lift it up slightly if you insert it too far, and then snap it into the tabs in the back of part number 138 and 137. We want to even out the pin probably distance wise and open it up a little bit to give it a little bit of room so it's nice and easy rotational motion. All right. Step number 1 at the top, we need parts number 140 and 141. 140, let's see, bottom right, we're gonna need 2 of them. Board number 5, all right. All right, and then let's see, part number 141. That's on board probably number 2. Let's see, 141 looks like a little tab with the cutout. Top right of board number 2. And top left of board number 2. All right, so this one with the cutout towards you and this little piece, round off piece, we're gonna insert it through the hole and then push it towards you to lock it in as far as it can go, so it will be flush with this round off piece. Same thing on the other one, and that's gonna be our part K. All the way, nice and flush to the surface here, and then put it aside. And then step number 1 on the bottom, we need part number 142. Probably gonna need to make 2 of them too, but let's start with 1. So we need, well, I'll pre-make 2 of them because there's the end, we need 2 parts, right? So let's see, part number 142, we are on board number 5, top right here, and then board number 4, bottom left. Oh, top left, sorry, top left and bottom left. And then we're gonna need our usual suspects, 2 132/38s, they're top left and top right. And then 2 parts 143. 143 is top left, all the way at the edge, and top right, all the way at the edge. 2 little pieces, make sure that we're recording, we're good to go. All right, so let's flip it upside down. So the not painted surface is towards the table. 143 is gonna go into this hole on the left with a little cutout, right? So there's a double hole on one side and hole with a cutout on the left hand side. That's where 143s are going to. And then one part goes into the cutout. And then 138 is going to go into the 2 of these sets. 2 holes, right? So 1, 2, 3, 4. All 4 pieces, and I'm going to use my little helping tool because they're smaller to push it all the way in. Make sure it sits nice and flush with the surface. Let's flip the page to page number 25, and then we're going to insert our eyes. Yeah, it's going to go with the, let's see, we're going to turn this whole pin towards the inside, and the pin that is already going through 2 parts, that's not gonna go into that hole. So the pin that doesn't have the 2 parts, that's the one that goes in the hole in the middle. 1, and same thing on the other one. So this is away from you, right? And the second one, so this part's somewhat parallel right now. Step number 3, we're gonna lock it up with 144. First one is on board number 4 on the left hand side, and the second one is on the board number 5 on the left hand side, a little bit above the middle, and they're gonna line up, and we're gonna push that pin through the hole and then snap it in, right? Yes, we're gonna snap it in on all the locations, locking this little sub-assembly together just like this. So we got a little bit of a movement, and same thing we're gonna do with the other one. Push this through the pin and then lock it into 143s, 138, and 2 138s, just like this. Step number 4, we're gonna do our part K. We're gonna flip it upside down, so this way, right? So the hinge is away from you on the right hand side. K is gonna go through this hole in between, and then right close to this hinge right here. And rest against this circular surface of the subassembly eye. And then we're gonna need part number 145. It looks like that's board number 2. 2 pieces for one set and 2 pieces for the other set. And the way you insert it is make sure that cutoff surface is towards this little piece, right? So one side's gonna go over the pin onto the tab, and then same thing from the bottom. Now the little chamfer is towards you, right, towards this surface right here, and we lock it in. And then same thing we're gonna do with the other one. This is on the right, this is gonna push through the little cutout towards the surface here, and then chamfer towards you over the pin, towards you over the pin. And that's let's see, everything's good, and then make sure that everything's moving nice and easy. This way, and same thing here, so it's nice and rotational. Moving on to the page number 26, gonna put these aside for a second. Let's see, step number 1, gonna do parts 146, 147, 148, and let's see, they're all on board number 2, should be. Let's see, 146 right to the left of the center line. 147 is going to be on the left hand side of the upper portion, and then 148 is right above it. This one, you're going to use the helping tool to get this out. kind of pull it out, don't care anymore, break the board. As long as you break the board, not the part, we're good to go. Now let's see, this one, there's a taller tab, should be going towards the top. B, which is the shorter tab, these are parallel, or the ends are at the same level. This one's towards the bottom. Number 147 is going to go from the back with the cutout. This one, the taller tab on the left hand side. And then 148 from the back, snapping into these little cutouts. All the way on both ends. We have our port M1. Step number 1 on the right at the top, we're going to need to take one of our L's. We're going to need part number 149, which is on board number 4. Top right, put it upside down, L, little circular cutouts is to the right and towards you. We need part number 150 off of board number 2. That's on the bottom, top left. So 150 is going to go into these two holes right by this circle on the right hand side. And then this sub-assembly is going to go into this little three holes with the taller tab towards top. So I'm gonna go in, insert it completely, make sure it's nice and flush, and then part number L is gonna go over it. Or right next to it, I guess. This little pin on a corner is going to go in the hole that is all the way at the end. We're going to move this part towards that circular portion here. The arm's going to be free moving for now. And then we're going to lock it up with 151, which is on the top right of board number 4. Line up the holes and pin. So we're going to start with the pin, move it towards the holes at the center here, snapping it all the way in, and then holes or tabs on the right hand side. So it's going to be like this for now. Step number 3, part number 152. Looks like that one's on 152 is board number 2, top right corner, right here. So this is going to go on 2 tabs at the beginning here, right by these circular ones, or tabs with the holes all the way in. Next, we're going to go part number 153. They're on board number 5. 153, top left. 154 in the center. 155 is on the right. And these going to go on these 3 tabs right by the circle on the right hand side, right? So we're going to go 153 is going to go on the outermost on the left hand side. Then 154, just keeping them in the same orientation, kind of going to preserve the look a little bit. And then 155 all the way at the bottom one, all the way in. And then step number 4, we need part number 157. That's on board number 2, top left. Long and fragile part, so carefully push it out. And then 156 would be on little board number 6. Let's see, 156, bottom left here, or center on the bottom. Let's see, this is going to go at the top here with the little round off surface. That's that hole with the 2 dots that's going to go into the tab that is sticking out. line up the holes here, and then 157 is going to go with the longer one through these two holes on the right hand side at the top. And then two holes along the line there of this part. And this one we're gonna need to push it in a little bit to make sure it's nice, like a rib or bone structure component brace. Let's see, step number 5 on page number 27. Need part number 158. That's on board number 6 on the right hand side there, bottom. And then 2 ports 159, most likely on board number 2. I see there, top left corner. And this is gonna go like in these pretty surfaces up, obviously with the colored surface towards the top, and the 2 holes. 159 is gonna go in a vertical direction. I'm gonna push them through part number 158 first. Careful not to push this little circle out, and then I'm gonna snap it onto this part. That's a little bit easier, or so I thought, but okay. And that's gonna be our M2. Still no hinges. We're gonna put the other one on the side. Step number 1 in the center here of page number 27. Let me make sure that we're still operational. We're good. Part number 160, 161, and 162. They're all on board number 2. Looks like it. Are they? Yes, should be. No, they're board number 4. Will be part number 160 on the right hand side, bottom right. And then 162 and 161s are at the top right corner of board number 2. So 162 is going to be on the left hand side going into this long tab, long opening cutout, kind of like once again fork. 161 with the curved surface towards the back. It's going to go on the right hand side with the painted surface towards the right. And just snap it onto these 2 little tabs. Step number 2, we need part number 164, 163. 164 is going to be on the top left or top right, one or the other. 163 is going to be on a little bit to the left of the center line at the top. So 163 is going to go in this cutout on the left hand side, and then we're going to put it into one of the openings of part number 162, and then 164 is going to go on a cutout up front, just like this, and that's our M3. Put it on the side. Step number 1 on the right hand side, part number 165 on board number 4 on the right hand side, center, middle. Let's see, 166 and 167, that's board number 2, has to be. 167 top left, and 2 166s going to be at the top here, top on the left hand side. All right, so 167 is going to go onto this little, let's see. So there's a little trapezoid, the smaller one should be towards the top, and that's right next to it. That's where part 166 gonna go to. 166 curving up 167 is going to go in the hole that is all the way at the top here with the hook towards the leg and up. And then the other 166 going to go on the bottom cutout right next to the other trapezoid. All right, curving up, also curving up and towards the center. And then M3 with the curvature towards the outside. And we're going to match up the little tabs and snap it in. There's a few tabs to match. You might need to use the helping tool to help it line up a little bit. I'm only having trouble with the centerpiece here. Some reason can't get it in. Let's see. Let's split it open and check what the reason is. Try to separate it. Maybe it wasn't sitting all the way in. Let's give it a try one more time. Maybe start with that piece. Rework it a little bit. Now it snaps in. Oh, nice and easy, and that's our M3. Okay, make sure nice and flush everywhere. All right, put it on the left. Now, that's our M4, sorry. Almost there. Now we need part number 168. That's gonna be on board number 2, at the center, a little bit to the left of the center line, and then part number 169 gonna be a little bit above the middle on the left hand side. So they're right next to each other. So 168 is gonna go up front here where this little part 164 is at. Line up the tabs, push it in, make sure it's nice and flush. And then 168 with cutout towards the bottom. Obviously you won't be able to put it any other way. Gonna like these little tabs. And that's gonna be our M4. Moving on to the page number 28. And now we get to install our M2 with 2 of these little parts. 2 holes. They're gonna go pins through these 2 holes on the bottom, and we're gonna need to the lag curves towards that little front piece, and we're gonna need 2 pins, shorter ones, to put through the bottom there. So left side, right side, doesn't matter. We're gonna use our helping tool, kind of play around with it until you get it going into the part. Guess it's much better when it's visible. And can't see anything now. Let's see if I can take these pieces out. One that broke off a little bit, non-EMDF. Try to push it from the other side. Let's see. Probably should have used the other side. Now I got 2 pins stuck. Great. Let's see. Not good. All right, got 1 pin in, the other will pin out. And I didn't lose it, so I was able to go it from the other side. And let's do from the other side, the front one. Just need to play around with it until it gets in to the hole. Little pressure as you move it around. And until it's all the way in, so it needs to make sure that it's still moving. And then part number 170, sorry I probably went off the screen a little bit just to give myself a little bit leverage, I apologize. I went from this side, push the pins out with a little helping tool not to puncture yourself in. And then we need part number 170 on board number 2, top left. That one's going to go from the front. There's a little hook. We need to make sure that it goes through, locking these 2 front pins at least in. And then we need to make sure it snaps in. And hear a little clicking sound to keep this pin from pushing out left or right. And then once again, it should go front and back. This is back and up and down. This would go up and down too. All right, that's our M. I'm gonna put it on the side. Moving on to the page number 29. We're gonna do the other side, the other leg. So this is page number 29, step number 1 at the top. Make sure we're still recording. Part number 146, 147, 148, top right of the board number 2. So 147, 148 are there. And then our 146. What board is 146 are at? Still should be on board number 2. As in a little to the right of the center line, about halfway. Now the toller pin is on the right hand side. 147 is going to go from the back. And then 148, locking it in. That's our N1. Step number 1 on the top right. Gonna take a little part number 171 on board number 5. Top right, top left, sorry. Holes on the left hand side this time. Gonna take our little sub-assembly, and we need part number 150 on board number 2. On the right hand side, bottom right, a little bit above the middle, so 150 is gonna go right by the hole right here on the left hand side. Our little sub-assembly N1 is gonna go into 3 holes right in the corner here, snapping it in. And then our L will go with the pin that is not locked right here into the end. Same way as before, just the opposite direction, mirror image, right? And then let's see, all that, and then we lock it up with 172 in step number 2. That's on the board number 5, top right corner. And match the circles. We're gonna go through the pin first. Then we're gonna go with that center piece right here, all the way in until that sticks out, and then locking it in on the bottom left. Part number 152 on board number 2, top right. And it's gonna lock it up by the circular tabs here on the bottom of the leg, all the way in. And then 153, 154, and 155. Gonna do at the circular location, so 153 is first on the inside, 154 on the second one, and then 155 gonna go right at the bottom. Creating that like little knee looking thing, or a brace on the knee for our chicken walker. 170, step number 4, 173 and 157. So 173 is on board number 6, bottom right. And then 157 is the top right on board number 2. Similar as before, 153 is going to go on the toller tab on the inner portion of it, towards this hole. And 157 will lock it in at 3 tabs or 3 holes. Make sure you brace a little bit apart, not to break it, not to break the brace. And moving on to the page number 30, step number 5 at the top, we need part number 159. That's the top right corner of board number 2. and then part number 174 from board number 6. And this is the last part. The other are spares, so we're gonna put it aside, not to be on the way. Same as before, 159 I'm gonna push through first. Into locations. And then install it onto the leg here from the top. All the way, and that's our N2. Now we're gonna move to the foot. Step number 1 at the center of page number 30. Parts number 175. That's at bottom right of board number 4. Part number 176 and 177, top left of board number 2. Let's see, with the forks, gonna go into the longer cutout of part number 175. 177 is gonna go on a side with the a similar situation as before, just mirror image. Then we need 163, that's a little to the right of the center of board number 2, and 164 on the top right. 163 is going to go from the side, locking the 176 in, and 164 is going to go from the back, kind of tilting downwards. Same as before, and that's our N3. Moving on to step number 1 on the right hand side, we need part number 178 from board number 4. That's the last part that's got left on there, so we can move it aside so it's not on the way. Board number 2, parts number 166 and 167 to 166 is at the top right, and 167 is on the edge there, top right. So 167 is going to be where the flat surface is at, towards you, right? And then the hook is towards the right hand side, towards the leg. And then 166 is going to go on the 2 cutouts, same as before. Bottom and left, and then we keep the middle one, and then N3. I'm going to go match the holes once again and snap everything in place. All the tabs nice and flush everywhere, all around. All the tabs are flush on the bottom here. All right, that's step number 2. Step number 3, we need part number 169, a little to the right, above at the middle, and then 168 is right above it. 169 is gonna go up front, or back, I guess, front of this leg, and then 168 in the back or front, whichever side, 2 sides, top and bottom. And that's our N4. All right, moving on to page number 1. I'm sorry, page number 31. Step number 1, we're gonna do the same thing as before. Now the leg is facing towards this little claw, and we're gonna go from this side now. 2 pins, same. I'm gonna go whichever one first, probably the front. And push it in with your helping tool, nice and tight through. And then the second pin is gonna go on the back leg, or back joint in. Oops, too far. Match it up with the hole, which is the hardest part, I think. Once you get it, then you can use the tool and push it all the way in until it locks in place and flush on both sides. And then part number 170, top right of board number 2. We're gonna lock it from the front here. To make sure that the pin doesn't come out. Until it clicks, snaps into the place, little holes, gonna lock it in and make sure to hold the pin, that it doesn't fall off, and that's our N. Moving on to page number 32. We're gonna take our first leg, we're gonna take our chicken, and then we're gonna need to attach it to here, to these two parts. And let's see, step number 1, it's gonna go through. This is gonna be down. Step number 2, okay, so let's see, this is gonna go through. I feel like I'm missing a pin. All right, so this pin right here, it's gonna go through this little piece of the leg right here and through this slot. And then we don't lock this portion just yet. All right, let's insert this and see how it's gonna go. This goes in, this goes out, this goes through this slot, this push down, slot, and we need to put it into the leg. Okay, and then that circular portion needs to go through that parts number 7, I guess, or whatever it was. So we need to fit it into, as you fit it in. That's why we can't lock it in. Right, yeah. So this little opening needs to go through parts number 7 that are sticking out there on the body. So I need to play around with it until we get it in. And then we can snap it all the way. Come on. Kind of hard to see. But once you have it on, then we can snap it all the way and get that leg nice and straight or down. I don't know if you can see there through the camera, but this is straight right onto parts number 7, I think it was. This is all the way in, and the little whatchamacallit, pin on here, it's through this part of the leg right here. So there's another set of holes. There is like a cutout, so just need to match those up and slide it in, and all the way. And then there's like a little cutout piece here, and we need to lock it with part number 179, which is on board number 2, top left. From the top, if you want to wax these pieces a little bit, it's going to go in a little bit easier. All the way, locking the leg in one side. And now we need to run it 5 times. Make sure. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Lock it in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Time. I know it's not 5, but it's working. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Didn't unwind all the way. I'm gonna need to play around with it a little bit more. All right, let's move on to page number 33, and we're gonna do the same thing on the other side. Install the leg. All right, same thing. Pretty much we're gonna start with the first one, then we're gonna need to do the pin on the back here, lining up with the holes. Insert the pin, and then this little part of the leg needs to go over parts number 7. That one's a little easier. Oops. Straight, or push this down a little bit further. Make sure everything is nice and tight. This one sits all the way in, and part number 179 to lock it up, top right. Put a little bit wax on there. And lock it from the top. Just like this. Once again, we go through this hole first, then we catch the little pin onto the back part of the leg, and then we slide the little circular opening over the parts number 7. They're in the middle, and now we need to run this a few more times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's see. Moment of truth. Little tight somewhere, but I see it unwinding. This one's a little bit tougher than the other one. All right, we're gonna need to work it in, and let's see if we got anything else to finish up. No, I guess that's the end of the assembly. We're gonna need to work this thing in just to make sure that it works. And let's see, there's another compartment. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's the key. Come on. Work it in. Come on, go. Come on, go, 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 go. All right, so as you can see, we got the movement that we need. I'm gonna need to play with it probably another like 15 times or whatever that I did on the previous one. We were checking the assembly and mechanical aspect and component of it. So once we walk through it, right, I just need to help it a little bit to do that little chicken walk. Unwind. There's a lot of friction, so that's why it's not moving nice and freely, but once I play with it for, I want to say, another 10-15 times, we'll have this thing running. Well, maybe not running, but definitely walking. All right, so that's the toughest part of the assembly. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Let's see. Little sluggish, but eventually, once you play with it, once you get it running, right, because all the friction needs to be, or most of the friction needs to be removed from the sub-assemblies, and that way it's going to be walking and running. So I will have to play with it for a little bit longer just to get everything running. As you can see, giving it a little bit of more tension, it will unwind. So I want to say maybe another like 10 times until it moves nice and easy. Remember when I showed you that it was like sticking, so and you have to work every single aspect of the mechanism, and then once it's done, that's going to be running nice and smooth. So kind of similar situation here. We'll need to work on this guy. Let it play with it for probably another half an hour or so until he walks completely. And I just need to make sure I don't lock him. With a little help of a key. Should unwind. In either case, this is the end of the assembly. I'm gonna go on, play with this guy, and make sure he works nice and smooth. I got one of the parts from somewhere. That looks like part number 190, which is, let's see if I can figure out where it came from. Right here. This one just folds in, and I'm gonna use the replacement part. Hopefully there's one on board number 3, 120. And that's the one that's gonna go front here. And locking it in. All right. So this is the end of the assembly. As I said, I'm going to be playing with it a little bit longer just to get it walking for the displays and for the shows. Probably will do a video once I'm done. Oh, I'm past the spring tension. 4 or 5. Let me try again one more time. Slight movement. So I do need some time. As you can see, it unwinds itself nice and easy when I'm holding it up. And then, as I said, it's just, I'll use the key a little bit to give it a little bit tension too, additional strength, and let it unwind for 10, 11 times. Nevertheless, this assembly is done. The winding mechanism and all the moving components here. We can store the key in the back, right here, of the head. The little section opens up here. We got our cannons moving, the guns are moving. What else we have here? The keys there. These front guns are moving up and down if you need to move them. And I think these are all the functions. This completes the assembly of AT-ST. This is the final in the first release of the Star Wars series by UGears mechanical models. If you guys have any questions, comments, please do not hesitate to leave them below in the video. Also, you can send us email at info@ugears.us or customer service at ugearsmodels.com. That's the manufacturer site. They'll be able to respond to most of the questions. I'll do whatever I can. Once again, I do assemble the models, so I do know how they go together, and most of the time I can answer them myself. Please do not forget to like and subscribe for more videos, other stuff, some ad videos, and also other products that we have. Their links are within our description. Our websites are ugears.us, ukidstoys.com, and we also do wholesale business to business. If you have a store, please contact us at info@ukidzllc.com. Once again, Dimitri with Ukidz LLC, UGears US, and we'll see you guys next time.